gonna go ahead and get started, man. If people come in, that's cool. But I want to hop on for several reasons. I see some of the peeps from the choirs in here. Several reasons. One, I told myself we did put out a music video. What's up, my guy, Ron? I gotta talk about Ron in a minute. But yeah, I said after I did this video, and I put it out there. I said I would. I'll do live if it went to 100,000. That was Friday. I said I'd do it live. Last week, I said by Friday, if I get to 100,000 views on the music video, I'll do it live. And it passed that this weekend. And so it's like 130 something. I don't know. So here we are. You're so dope. I remember from the basic. Oh, that's so dope. So I just want to talk about. Well, some of y'all don't know me. Like some of y'all are here, are new to my world, and that's cool. So I want to give a brief description of who I am. My name is Dathan Thigpen. I'm a singer, songwriter. I grew up in church doing Christian music, gospel music. I'm a gospel music singer. I'm a praise and worship leader at church. But I'm other things as well. I'm an actor. Some of you may have seen me in Medea's Neighbors from Hell stage play that went to DVD years ago. One of my first acting gigs here in Atlanta. But then I've done a lot of musical theater since then. Just went on a recent tour with Garrett Johnson doing Jason's Lyric. I did Rick James tour. Just a bunch of different things on the acting side and stage. But also I'm an arranger. And although I've been doing this for a long time, some of you guys are new to that world. But I've been training choirs. I've been training singers. My own kids. I got two boys for a very long time, and so, but it's like the world has opened up to that gift. So that is interesting because usually arrangers don't get a lot of love. Arrangers kind of like do their thing in the background, and the artists get the love. But as of recently, I've been in my arranging bag in a different perspective where I've been getting love because people are now knowing that it is me arranging and they're showing love and saying we want more. So that's who I am in a nutshell, and that's what's going on. But this song, Human Nature, it's crazy. A lot of y'all don't know, but I did this song. We recorded this in December of 2024, which is crazy. This video was shot 2024. In December, which sounds crazy now because it feels so long ago. That sounds long ago, but I'll tell you how it all happened. So another thing is I used to sing in Sunday service choir with Kanye West, right? And so I have some friends who's in the choir, people I know that are in the Sunday service choir. And I remember this one day in 2024, one of my friends who was in the choir, in the Sunday service choir, came to me. And so Sunday service choir kind of did this thing where they would like arrange these dope arrangements. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Sunday best is a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Can't forget that, right? I won Sunday best 2015. So for some of you who don't know what that is, Sunday best is basically it's like the American Idol of gospel. There you go. But anyway, so back to the story. So Sunday service choir, essentially Kanye West wanted this thing where every Sunday people come together and sing, and basically these dope arrangements of these popular songs, but they were turned into Christian songs, which is pretty dope. And I eventually got to be a part of that. I was part of the Donda recording that happened at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is pretty dope. But anyway, the friend I was mentioning that was in the choir with me was curating an event that will involve singers coming, and there was this clip of the girl who used to arrange for Sunday service choir, and she had some of the old members in there, and they were singing this song or something like that. What's up, Minister James? They were singing this song, and she's like, I'm gonna do something like this. And I was like, who could do this? She's like, duh, Dathan. So she hit me up. She's like, can you come to this event and just teach an arrangement of a song? I was like, sure. So I did that, and the first song I think we did was what was it? Aaliyah. It was try let yourself off and try again. And it went viral. It was crazy. And so she was like, can you come back next week? I was like, okay. Came back next week, did like a Destiny Child song. And I remember maybe like that following week or that following time, it was another location. We was at Ron's spot. Ron was on earlier. It was at Ron's spot, and she was like, "Hey, you got a song idea? You got, you know?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Human Nature, hands down." And so I taught it, and the rest is history. It went crazy viral, like, and this was like in 2024. I remember it was. I knew it got on the Shade Room. Shade Room posted it. It was like a 1.2 million views. And I remember one of the guys in the choir, his name is Kevin. He posted on his page. He ended up getting like 2.6 million views on it. It was doing crazy on TikTok. I Still Love Her on Instagram, 3.5 million views. It was just going crazy. Viola Davis posted it, which is crazy. And she like posted it. It was like 1.2 million views. And so all the comments was like, "Oh, this is dope. We need a full version. Can we get a full version? Can we get?" And I was like, sure. So I remember being compelled to do a full version of the song, invite some singers, specifically the singers who was on the one that went viral, and invite them to come be a part of it. And most of them was like, "Yeah." And so we went to the studio, we recorded the full version of the song, December. It was like December 22nd. It was like right before Christmas, December 22nd, 2024. Shot a video, the whole 9 yards. And I sat on it. Like I didn't, I sat on it for several reasons though. Like I didn't just sit on it for no reason, but I sat on it. I remember just sitting on it. And long story short, I decided this year I want to put it out. And it could not have been perfect timing because of the Michael Jackson movies. Man, God, the way God moves is kind of crazy. So it was perfect timing to do it now. And we released it 1 week before the Michael Jackson movie. And so I think it's pretty dope. It's exciting to see, the hype around it. People are super excited about it. I'm super excited about it. So yeah, I want to talk about that movie though. Any of y'all seen the movie? What are your thoughts? I don't want to give no spoiler alerts, but the movie, okay, I'm just gonna talk about it. Spoiler alert! I'm about to talk about the Michael Jackson movie, but no, I want to talk about it a little bit about the movie. Well, let me go back. I don't want to talk about that just yet. I do want to talk about. So a lot of people think that the people in the video is an actual choir. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute, but I want to get back to this. Go back to the choir. People think it's an actual choir, and at the time when we recorded, it was not a choir. I think there's it is. Some of the singers are in a choir now, but at the point before then, and it's not my choir, by the way. It was random singers, really, literally random singers. It was just coming in the room by invitation, and you would think these people have been singing forever. But no, it's pretty dope. There's some people on here now. I see Kia. I'm gonna invite you to come on because I want to talk to you about some stuff. But yeah, let me see if I can invite her. How does this work? He didn't want to get on. That's fine. I want to invite her as a moderator, not a moderator. Kia, I want you to request to come on. I want to talk to you about something. But so yeah, so it was random people, like I said, but it sounded amazing, and I jumped on it right away. And so that kind of transitions me into talking about the film. So I want to talk about this movie. So let me get y'all's thoughts. Anybody, like somebody said 10/10. What do you think about the film? Those who have seen it already. Is it James? Is this James? James, hop on. I want to talk to you. Have y'all seen the film? So people keep asking me, what do I think about the film? And this is what I think about the film. It was definitely amazing. And for me, it was inspirational in a lot of ways. Like from a creative standpoint, I feel like it was inspirational because you get to see his creative process. You kind of see Kev, you own. Go ahead and add because I want to bring you on. You get to see his creative process on the movie, and he had like sticky notes, writing down the songs that I did. One of the things that's really stood out to me was when he was in that pool. I think he was in a pool, and he said, I gotta write this song, or God's gonna give it to Prince." I thought that was hilarious, but I also thought that spoke volumes. It was a lot to unpack in that one sentence to me. Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to, hold on, let me try to add. Invite. But yeah, that spoke volumes to me, because I do believe God. What's up, Kev?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Let me introduce Kevin to y'all, man. Kevin Bonds, first of all, is a Grammy-nominated, Grammy-winning producer. He's produced for some of the biggest artists out there now. Great songwriting. He plays phenomenally, and I was blessed to be able to work with him on this song. Brother, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight.
Indeed, my pleasure. My pleasure.
But I was introduced to Kevin a long time ago. We've been in passing for a long time. You know, we would be on different platforms. We had a mutual respect for each other for our work, but we had a mutual friend, Keith Dobbins, who when we were working on this project, he was like, "Man, we need to call Kevin. He will be perfect for this." And I could not have agreed more here. So we called Kevin, and Kevin came on board. And so, man, thank you, because what you added to the project made it exactly what it needed to be. So, tell me. I want you to tell me your what was your thought process when you signed on to be a part of this.
Well, first of all, thanks for the opportunity to chat with the group and chat with everybody. Hey, everybody online, and hit other people, let them know that we're on.
Yeah.
When Keith hit me, first of all, I knew you from Sunday's Best, and I was well acquainted with your work, well acquainted with your work ethic, and I like how you move. I like how you work. Love your vocal quality and things like of that nature. So that's a given. And then when I watched what you were doing in the spaces with some of the other choirs, I knew that this was something I would definitely want to be a part of, because that was something, between what Kanye was doing and the young lady in Atlanta.
Mhm.
It was just a movement that was going on. So I was like, why not add a voice to the movement and add our footprint to that movement? And then, of course, once I heard the arrangement and heard where you were going with it, all I could think was it has to be classic. And whenever you start signing on to work with anybody that's touching a classic artist like a Michael Jackson, then you have to keep it in its classic element. You
Oh,
you
for sure.
cannot try to be original. You cannot try to go across the street. As I heard another artist say, you're not going to add nothing to it than what I did and make people remember it any more than they already do.
Right.
So when you start talking about a song like Human Nature, uh, I wanted to keep it in its original element. So I made sure that we captured everything that we needed to capture with your musicians, with your incredible singers, and your amazing arrangement. And then after that, we just went to the lab and went to work and built the original arrangement around it. Adds some subtle nuances musically to it, but by and large, when people listen to classic songs, they want to hear the classic song
No,
because
for
they're going to
sure.
sing along, and you want them to sing along. That's what's going to make it memorable. That's what's going to make it last and linger. And then with the release of the record, with the movie, your timing was perfect in that you waited, you held it. Most people would have been eager to drop it. I love that you were patient in that regard. You and your team decided to hold it, and this was the greatest time because everybody's paying attention to what Mike is doing. He's back at the top of the charts, so this song will also populate and continue to build momentum. And it's one of those things you can also be proud of through your years as you continue to develop as an artist and continue to um, matriculate through the music industry. This is something really magnitudinal. I'm very proud of it. I'm
No, I
proud to have been
appreciate
a
that.
part.
Thank you, man. It's crazy because when when I was going through the process of uploading the song and what we do when we're doing the music, it was weird because this is a new genre for me. And this
Yeah.
is the first time I've
Yeah.
ever released anything that was outside of gospel. So I was like so confused in my brain. It's like when I had to pick the category, I was like, "Whoa, pop, that's crazy."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. But
but
it's
it's
big,
cool.
man. This is big, and you should be very proud of yourself. You know, we don't take times to celebrate what we do. So often we are so busy just moving from one thing to the next that we don't stop and smell the roses.
No, for
And
sure,
as we look at, people in our industry that are passing on and moving on, even legends, we have to take time to
absolutely.
really relish what we've done and what we put in the marketplace and look back. We're so busy trying to get it done and so busy trying to master it and make sure that we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. But at the end of the day, take a moment to celebrate. You and the group, I hope you all can get together and just sit and relish in the moment.
No, for sure. I think that would be great, man. I want to ask you: did you see the film? First of all, the Michael movie.
Of course.
Yeah. So I want to get your take on the film. I just shared right before you came on that for me when I watched it, from a creative standpoint, so many aspects that makes that film great. But from a creative aspect, I love to see that they showed Mike in his creative form, like his
Hmm.
thinking process. They had the
Hmm.
stickies on the wall, like
Hmm.
how he was thinking. And I was just sharing how I love the line where he said, "If I don't get this, if I don't write this song, God's gonna give it to Prince."
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
love that because it's
Hmm.
to me. That was a God nugget for me because it
Yeah, yeah,
speaks to. I
yeah.
do believe God downloads things into us, and I
No
think God
question.
puts stuff into the atmosphere, and sometimes we're the first ones to get it. But if you're procrastinating, not jumping on it, not moving on it,
It
I
moves
do
on.
believe it's going to go on to someone else.
I
And
totally
I
concur.
think we've all been in that situation where we saw something, man, I thought of that,
Right,
or man,
right, right,
I wanted to do that first.
right,
And you had the
right.
idea years ago, but then somebody got the idea. So
No question.
that was the biggest standout for me. But I want to ask you, what were your thoughts about the film? Any inspirations you got from the film? What are things you like? Maybe things you didn't even like.
I absolutely love the film. I love the film. I love that they showed us, the era that they showed was priceless because it showed people the process to success. Too often people think that they just, we see now through the internet these viral sensations, but we also see that many of them don't last. Or
Yep.
they end up in trouble down the line somewhere. But I love the process and I love the discipline, even though Joe was a little spastic at times. I love the fact that he pushed them past their limits to greatness. The beatings and all of that, that was extra, and I get all
Right.
of
Of
that.
course.
That's the black household. Unfortunately, we were not raised to talk. We were raised to react and to act, and
Hmm.
whippings and things like that was the nature. But it pushed them to a level of greatness that we have never seen before.
No,
And for
for
him
sure.
to aspire even beyond. They showed that thing of, we're seeing this thing on the internet now about his last picture in school was like, what, sixth or seventh grade or some craziness like that.
I know.
And there was no other pictures of him in school because he was a superstar from that point forward.
For sure.
But it took the discipline of his parents and his mother and father to allow them to grow into that level of greatness. And then, of course, Michael was just disciplined, but not beyond nature. He studied. What
Yeah.
people don't realize is that he really studied. As great as he was, he also watched other greats. He paid attention to the dancers, the Fred Astaire's, the James Brown, and all the
Mhm.
others, the Nicholas brothers. He paid attention to all of those levels of detail. He didn't have to learn tap. He didn't have to learn none of that.
Right.
He had a gift that was better than that of Sammy Davis. Sammy couldn't sing like him. The Nicholas couldn't sing. You know what I mean? He could have rested on his laurels. And what I love was that he continually added to his gifts. So that's a word for all creatives. Don't just settle in one box and settle in one area. I realized very early on that the music thing and the piano thing is going to be just one facet of what I do. And I do many different things. And I believe that you should always add to your level of creativity, add to your greatness, add to your levels of success. Never settle, never settle. Whatever God puts in your heart to do, you should always go after it. And that's
No,
what the
for
that's what the film
100%.
definitely spoke to us volumes.
100%. So I got T, are you on? Can are you there?
I'm here.
So she was one of the choir members that sang, one of the singers that sang on the video. Hey,
Hey.
I want to talk to you because you were there from the beginning. You were there from the first viral video. You were there, and you came back and was a part of the recording. And here we are at the release. So I want you to tell me everything. Tell me your perspective. Tell me, did you think it was ever gonna come out like this? Tell me your thoughts. I want to hear from you.
First of all, let me say thank you. Because from the, we met on a chance meeting of singers and, creatives coming together. Um, and because of you, I actually booked a gig after that. So that's funny. They were like, oh, it was funny because somebody who knew I sang for years and they were like, oh, you were Dathan. I was like, I just met him. They was like, hey, you should come do a thing. So thank you for
Let's
that.
go. Come on,
That's
Josh.
great. That's
We
great.
like checks.
The power of
um,
relationships.
No,
I
for
love that.
sure.
yes, absolutely. And then the lead up to this, it was so like, the video went viral from the arrangement you did. And I mean, it went super viral. I think I remember Viola Davis had commented on it. It went everywhere. And then I was blessed to be a part of the first recording. Remember, we did the vocals for the performance we did at like the
Hmm.
MLK event.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then you were like, we're doing a music video. So I was like, wow. Because all of this stuff happened like on a, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do
Mhm.
this. And it was so great to be a part of all those things. And I say that because, for one, I am a chronically ill performer. So when I go to an event and I'm pushing through, like that particular night, by the time I got home, I was in the bed for the next few days.
Oh,
But this
wow.
Wow.
is what I do, and this is what I advocate for. Like,
Mhm.
being able to be a part of that and, not being pushed to the side. Again, I thank you for that. So, so many blessings came with that. I did not realize that nothing happened after we did that. So when I got the email, you were like, hey, putting it out. And I was like, oh, yeah, we did the video with the white.
You know what's
And of
crazy? A
course,
lot of the choir members was like, I forgot we did
Because
that.
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute. When I looked at the date of when we did, I said, oh my goodness. So the beauty of, like you said, the patience of everything, I was just
Hmm.
grateful for every time I was able to show up and be a part,
Mhm.
and be there. So now
Did
to
you see the
see.
film? Did you see the film?
So my sister's fussing at me because she's seen the film twice. I haven't had a chance to see the film yet. I absolutely want to go, because I know it's going to be just really beautiful. Everything I've heard about it, as far as his nephew, like you almost assume that, like you think it's him in the moments that they did it. So I haven't seen the film though, but that's a part of I definitely plan to. But
The reason I'm asking you is because of this. So, one of the choir members hit me up after she saw the film, and she was like, Dathan, I saw that film, and when they got to the human nature, it was like a special moment in the movie. He said, and she was like, but it made it very much more special because of what we had done together, and that meant a lot to me. And but honestly, when that song came on, it was the same for me. It was, and I was always a fan of this song, but obviously we have a deeper connection to the song because we
yes,
just did the song, and so I will say, and I was sitting with my boys when it came on, it was something very special. And I love that
Mhm.
moment in the movie because they spent time on it. It was like you was at a concert
Yeah.
Oh,
watching
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
good,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing. I don't want to tell too much because you got to see it. But
right?
that moment meant a little more because of what we've
Hmm.
done with this project and because of our
Hmm.
relationship with the song now.
Absolutely,
It felt what
absolutely.
about you, Cam?
No doubt about it. I'm just excited to be able to say that we did something in the Michael Jackson catalog. I mean,
No, for sure.
that's not something that you do every day. That's you just don't wake up one day and say, you know what, we're gonna release a Michael Jackson song.
No,
That
it's
does not happen. And then you realize the phenomenon, which is Michael Jackson. When he died, ironically, well, I grew up in a very musical household. So my sisters were very heavily into the Jacksons. So my sister would steal away from school, steal away from everything, and go see the shows. She would end up at the concerts and end up backstage a couple of times. So it was crazy.
whoa.
And then years later, of course, when he passed away, my kids were introduced to him because everybody started playing the music again. So they turned off everything on their playlist and was only listening to Michael Jackson. So here we are again, because now I have a 3-year-old grandson who, before the movie came out, was smitten with Michael's videos.
Wow.
And
That is cool.
he just celebrated a birthday, and we bought him the glove and the whole outfit with the hat and the whole
Hey.
nine, the red jacket. And he ran out, and everybody screaming, Michael, Michael, Michael. Now he tells the family, everybody, I need you to scream, Michael, Michael, Michael. So
I love it.
I've seen this thing play out in almost 4 generations.
That's really cool.
And it's unreal
It's
because of
unheard
the
of.
phenomenon that is Michael Jackson. He's been dead, I don't know how many years now, but his catalog is the highest selling catalog still.
Right now. And that's what's amazing to me. That's what I hate these comparisons, thinking who's a Michael Jackson of today? There is not a Michael Jackson of
We'll
today.
never see another one. We'll
There
never
might
see
No.
another one.
exist.
We'll never see anybody that compares to the phenomenon. We're looking at our artists of today that are just now starting to sell out. Black artists that are starting to sell stadiums.
Hmm.
Mike was selling stadiums before it was a thing.
Right. For sure.
He couldn't even do a show unless it was in a stadium with 80,000 people. It, it was a waste. I mean, and then when he sold the This Is It, the final tour at the spot in London, it sold out in minutes. Like
Right. I
it
remember
was
that.
supposed to be what, like 50 shows? It was some astronomical, crazy number of shows that the promoter had done, but it sold out in minutes, which is unreal.
Yeah. Nobody's done it like that. And but more than that, like you have to think about it. He's been a star since he was a kid.
Yeah,
So that's why that generational thing was even happening back then. But more than that, his global impact is what's kind of like phenomenal.
unreal.
Like
Unreal.
it's a global
Yeah.
impact. People in other countries who revere him just like we do here in the States.
No
And
question.
so there's just never been anyone. And I remember I'm old enough to have been able to go to a concert
Yeah,
when I was young. My dad took me when I was like 7 to a
yeah.
Michael Jackson concert. It was in Houston,
Wow.
Astrodome, which is now Lakewood Church actually.
Yes,
And
yes.
I would never forget that. And honestly, my dad messed me up with that because I give concerts a hard time because I've seen a Michael Jackson
You've seen a
concert
real concert.
and I am
Yeah,
not easily impressed. Even
Right.
today,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't getting, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to name names, but I went to a popular females
yeah, yeah,
concert
yeah, yeah.
and everybody said, oh my God, the best concert ever. And somebody bought me tickets, so I went. And I'm not going to lie, it was great. It was good.
Right.
But 70% into the show, I was ready to go home
That part.
because, and don't get me wrong, it's because I'm spoiled. It's because when there wasn't LED walls and there wasn't all these
Right,
things, you had
right, right,
Michael
right.
Jackson giving you a
A
real
real show. A
show.
real show.
And so
I was
now you get
blessed
a
to
big LED
actually
wall and you get a bunch of
perform.
graphics.
I
That's
was
not
blessed
impressive.
to actually perform for Michael Jackson.
Whoa! Oh,
What?
you got to tell us that one.
Yes, yes. So I used to play for Stephanie Mills, and one year the Boy Scouts of America did a thing at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and they honored Michael Jackson, and they asked Michael who did he want to perform, and he chose Stephanie Mills.
Wow.
Ah.
So it was totally on the DL. Nobody was supposed to know anything, but the cat was out the bag because while we were walking in the lobby, Jermaine walked past. So I'm like,
Whoa.
well, no security, no nothing, but
Wow.
Jermaine walked past. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Something's happening. And then we see all the security going on. So we get in, we did our sound check, we on stage, and all of a sudden, this tall fella in a disguise with the hat walks in. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That's a crazy story.
Woo.
So we did the performance, and Lowell Silas, who was the president of the record label, brought him upstairs to meet us. So
Yeah.
it was one of those wild moments that, you don't think about it until you think about it.
Of
It's not
course.
something that's on my bucket list or something that I hold in high regard until now when you start thinking about these moments. But yeah, we actually
Every
did a performance for Donald
that is
Lawrence
pretty
was the music
amazing.
director, as a matter of fact, at that time.
Say it again.
Donald Lawrence was the music director who
Wow,
actually
for
pulled me
Stephanie
into that
Mills.
band. Yeah, and that was the precursor to me doing the Tri-City records with Donald and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, it
Oh
was dope.
wow.
Oh, so that's crazy to me. So all things Michael Jackson have been in my algorithm, obviously.
No question.
Uh, but I recently just saw a clip where someone was talking about, and I know this is a little controversial, but people were talking about Diana Ross doing The
Hmm.
Wiz and
Right.
how Stephanie was snubbed um,
Yeah,
because
Stephanie did Broadway. Stephanie
we
did
did it
Broadway.
on
That was
Broadway.
her. That was her. Her claim to fame. That was her claim to fame.
Right, and obviously she was the pick for that film, but obviously Diana Ross was a big star, and we've seen that before with some other artists before.
But I
Um,
wonder, was it also because of the Quincy connection, the Michael connection, and the Diana Ross connection?
but that's why I'm bringing it up because Stephanie also had a Michael Jackson connection, obviously.
She did. She did.
So I mean, I think Diana Ross leveraged her Michael connection and said we can make him come in, but Stephanie Mills could have done the same thing. They were friends.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
She could have
Sure.
done the same thing, and that's what made me think about it when you mentioned her. I forget that they were cool. They were very close.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it just goes to show how, once again, his impact has reached so many generations, and I love the degree of separation. It's kind of small. We have stories that
Yeah. Yeah.
connect us
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
really really cool ways. But yeah, I just I didn't want to be on all night, but I just wanted to hop on and kind of really talk about these moments. Kia, did you have anything else? You were going to say something else earlier about
Um,
the
no, I'm just
choir.
was excited and glad, and I'm sure there's other people who want to hop on and talk about their experiences as well. But again, I'm grateful, excited, and I'm a part of history now, and who knows where else this may go.
No, for
Very
sure.
true.
And me and Kevin been already talking about it. I'm not gonna say everything on here, but we're already talking about what the future may hold. And how all this started was me doing these arrangements in this room with these
Yeah.
singers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
which I would intimately do that. Like I've been doing arrangements for years, and I was working. Candy Birds had a group called Siren, and for a year they hired me to help with their content, and so I would teach them arrangements to these cool
Wow.
songs, and they would post them just to get their numbers up, to get the content out there, and then they kind of went on tour with Escape, and they kind of did their thing. So I always loved doing that, but it always was like a behind the scenes type thing. No one really knew I was doing it. But
Hmm.
when I did it for this group, it was different. It was almost like I was pushed to the forefront. It was like, hey,
Hmm.
arrangement by Dathan Thigpen. And so
Hmm.
Yep.
I got to
Hmm.
get direct responses to me saying, this was great.
Sure.
How did you do this? Oh my
Right.
Yeah.
God, we want to see more. And I never got that opportunity to get real responses like in real time like that from
Sure.
people I did not know. Of course,
Sure.
my mama said they don't. I love my mom.
Sure.
They don't count. But for
Sure.
somebody from Brazil or
Right. Right.
India or
Right.
somebody from across the country, it's like, I love your arrangement. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
want to hear more. I was like, oh,
And
okay.
Yeah.
even just being in those rooms with you, you teaching the parts, the way you do it is magnificent because everybody can't do it at that level and that comfortably without throwing a shoe, you know? So I commend you for that as well because your ability to connect with people, like, we had just met each other and it was a room full of strangers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And hey, look what happened.
And
So,
you would never know from that original video that we
yes,
never rehearsed before. We never did anything for it. I didn't know 90% of the people in the room.
Wow.
I
me
had no
neither.
idea
Wow.
who they were. We were all perfect strangers. And I say
Yeah.
perfect strangers because what we created was perfect.
Sure.
Amen.
It was amazing. But anyway, to move forward, I remember going on tour and I was sitting with the idea. It's like, whoa, like all the responses, all the comments I was reading, and people wanting more, and saying like, "We love what you're doing. Give us more." And
Hmm.
I was like, "Wow, I gotta find a way to do it." And so I
Hmm.
actually found an avenue to continue doing it. I called it Vocal Vibe, just a random name I came up with, and went on tour, and more songs were created. So who knows? Maybe you're gonna see us again really soon.
Hmm.
Putting out some more songs, but we're even planning on another Vocal Vibe tour. Um, to really just to create this space where random singers can come together and
Hmm.
just kind of enjoy music at a different level. But more than that, now something has started with this Human Nature where like we're putting out reimagined thoughts of music out there, and people are loving it. So let's give her more, right? So be
Hmm.
on the lookout because we do plan on doing a tour, another tour just like that. And so now I'm gonna be a little more intentional. It's not just fun. I'm gonna be thinking, what is the next song?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I'm gonna be real
Exactly.
intentional and do exactly what that song did. See what the internet is saying, and then we'll see what if we need to do something with those
Hmm.
songs. So be on the
Hmm.
lookout. As a matter of fact, you can go to my website,
Ah,
DathanThigpen.com, and we got like a form if you got interest in want to know information about the tour and Vocal Vibe, if what city we'll be coming to, and if we're gonna do another one in Atlanta, if we're coming to New York, all that. Go to the website, fill it out. We'll have your information. So as soon as it hits, you'll be the first to know. But
I can't
and
wait.
we even got merch.
Merch.
Ooh.
Come
Look in
on
the
now.
comments.
Come
Oh,
on
Catherine,
I'm
now.
gonna,
I need your address. I'm sending you some merch. What'd you say, Kim?
Dathan, I'm gonna come out of here because look who Ron's here. You should
Okay,
pull
cool. Good,
Ron up.
good.
All right,
That's the
y'all
only
have a
wrong
good
one to
night.
vote
I'm
on.
gonna
If
still
Ron,
stay in the comments, but I'm gonna see how to take me off the video.
I don't. Let me figure out how to do that. Let me see. I
I
don't
know
know
I
how to
don't
do it.
wait. You know what? I'm gonna close it out because I don't want you to hang up your whole live because I
No,
know
I
this
got it.
thing
I
can be
got it. I
weird.
got it.
Oh, good. Okay.
You good? So so that's the goal to just expand from here and just kind of see where this takes. I do think this is a God thing, and I forgot to mention that earlier. When it started going viral, I remember it was in December. I was in a play and I was headed there, and I I believe the Lord spoke to me vividly, like move on this.
Hmm.
Kind of like the whole Michael Jackson thing.
Hmm.
Like if I don't move on to somebody else good, but I
That's right.
remember that
That's right.
happening, and
That's right.
and within days we contacted UCAB, like of me getting that inspiration from God to do that. So I moved on it right
Sure.
away. And though,
Sure.
and I think that happened for a lot of reasons. Though we did hold on to it, but I think it was important to move on it at that moment.
Exactly.
Uh, and I think the path of this I feel like has been God the whole way.
No
Um,
doubt
and,
about it.
and I think this is a God connection. So I thank God for you, Ken.
My pleasure. My
I really
pleasure.
thank God for you, man. And so we'll see what the future holds. But thank you for your expertise. I just tell everybody, y'all gonna see us again.
There you go. There you go.
All right, everybody have a good night. Love you all. Share the video with your friends. Until the next time. All right, y'all.
Indeed.
All right.
Peace.